What's up, my dudes? Valkyrja, and today I was going to do a totally memey video about this, but I want to give you guys an honest tier list. Now, this is going to be a totally biased tier list, like complete bias is going into this. I don't care what you think. This is going to be my opinion on the best units in the game, my opinion on who I think is absolutely insanity good. Basically, I'm going to be talking about my favorite units, who I think is going to last, etc. I'm going to go one by one about where I think these units sit, and we'll see where they are. Now, keep in mind, once again, I have to repeat this because there are people going,
the spreadsheet says... Actually, Valk, the spreadsheet says that this DPS is better.
Listen, this is totally biased. This is just my opinion. You can disagree. We can all disagree. But in the end, opinions are like booty holes. Everyone's got one and they all stink. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get some of the obvious choices out of the way first. You go up there, and then you go up there. I think she's better than people say, but let's just get some obvious things out of the way. Let's see who else. Kazuha, all the way up. Zhongli, where are you at? The units that take me, not that. This shouldn't be controversial as my top 3, right? I don't think this would be controversial. I'm pretty sure we can unanimously agree that these 3 units are just absolutely insane, and they just belong at the very, very tippy top. So from there, we're going to go one by one, and I will put these people exactly where I think they belong. So we're going to put Albedo in B because his name is Albedo with a B, so he belongs in B and not A. No, I'm joking. With the new update, Albedo's gotten a real... Actually... he does like 30k procs now every 2 seconds, right? That's... I really like Albedo. I really do. But, the one thing that's always tripped me out with Albedo, right, is how useless his ult is until you have Constellation 2. You really do need Constellation 2 on Albedo for his ult to be anything. So, if I'm looking at this at, like, just objectively, like, I don't know. Maybe if we count Constellations here, but then he gives the Geo Team EM, and that's kind of weird. But he does really good damage. I go B tier. Aloy, I love you, girl, but in all honesty, I mean, that's a no-brainer. Arataki Ito, A. So, Arataki Ito is going to be an A because Arataki Ito starts with an A. How many times am I going to do that stupid joke? Basically, Arataki Ito has insane damage capabilities. As we've all seen, he's extremely easy to build due to defensive scaling, so I think he is actually one of the better like DPSs in the game. And at C6, he's just an absolute monster. At C0, he's a freaking monster too. I think Arataki Ito actually belongs right here at A. And then Ayaya, once again, I think Ayaya goes in A. She's a fantastic off-the-field DPS. Her ult just absolutely shreds. Barbara self-freezing makes me want to cry myself to sleep. Bido with one of the most broken constellations in the game in her C2, and the fact that it can kind of make her do like crazy amounts of damage because it makes it where she has another dragon that splits off and bounces between enemies. Not to mention she has a parry, which is very, very good to have, especially against like I remember whenever the Geo Bishop, whenever Floor 12 first introduced Geo Bishops and they were murdering everyone. Bido was actually the hard counter to the Geo Bishops because of the way she functions. She hard counters a lot of things. Changyong, C, because you start with C. Diluc is going into B. While he has been power crept, he still hits incredibly hard on the right setup, so I do believe Diluc belongs here. And then we go Diona. Diona, I'm sticking B too. Her real function is mostly cryo battery, as well as healing and cryo application due to her field. But beyond that, she doesn't really do all that much. Eula is going into A. Eula has the single hardest hit in the game. She's an incredibly hard-hitting character. She's super, super powerful, and I fully believe that she belongs like right here. These aren't going to be in any particular order. Maybe I'll put the S tier in order, but for everyone else, this isn't going to be in any particular order. This is just what I think. Fischl. Fischl, I'm going to stick Fischl in C. She's still really good as an electro applicator. Actually, maybe B because the off-the-field damage from Oz is actually kind of cracked. Yeah, off-the-field damage from Oz is kind of cracked, so I'll stick her B. I think she's pretty good there. Chi-Chi. I want to stick her C tier because the healing is so nice against the wolves, but at the same time, there's a lot of characters that heal and do a lot more. So I actually stick her D tier. Ganyu, this one might be a little controversial, but S tier, because I think Ayaka does what Ganyu does better. I mean, not S tier, A tier. I think Ganyu is not like the dominant force she used to be. I think Ganyu's actually around here now. And this is where I think she currently belongs, is right here, because I think Ayaka does better in the Morgana team. So I think Ayaka does what Ganyu's role is a little bit better, because Ayaka has insane damage, but that's not this kind of Ganyu. Ganyu's still an absolute freaking monster, and with her rerun coming, I know a lot of people are going to pull for her. So, let's go with Garo. Where do I put Garo? I'll put B tier. He's a fantastic support. The only issue is maybe C tier, actually, because he is literally only good in Mono Geo. You have him in Mono Geo, and he's literally like as good as Bennett, but outside of anything that's not Mono Geo, he's literally useless, so that to me drops him all the way down to C tier. I mean, quite literally useless, like absolutely unusable. Next we have Hu Tao. Hu Tao's still a monstrous DPS. I think she's a fantastic DPS for anybody that, you know, wants it. Pretty sure she just is going to always deal crazy damage because she has HP to attack conversion. Very similar to Arataki Ito. Like, these two function pretty similarly, except Arataki Ito scales off defense, she scales off HP. Either way, they are both very, very strong units. Next is Jean. I'm going to put Jean in B tier because Jean, the soccer mom, has an absolute godsend for any Anemo user. Like, she is able to battery, she gives you attack speed buffs, she heals you, her burst healing is so nice. I really, really think Jean is really underrated. I think she's always been one of the most underrated units in the game. She is just a fantastic unit all in all. Kaya, okay, so Kaya, there's two different versions of Kaya. There is C0 Kaya, which goes down here, and then there is C6 Kaya, which goes up here. So, we'll say he's C6, and put him up here. Kaya is a fantastic cryo support at C6. Absolutely insane. Kaching. Do I think she's this bad? No, she's still usable. Mistsplitter and Shimenawa gave her a really good bump, so yeah, I'll stick her here. Mistsplitter and Shimenawa really helped her out a lot. Really brought her somewhere back into usability status, because she was falling off super hard. So with Mistsplitter and Shimenawa, she's actually pretty decent. Not anything crazy. I don't think she's anywhere good, as good as any of the DPS in these categories, but I think she goes there. Klee. We're going to stick Klee B tier as well. Klee's damage has kind of fallen back a little bit, but she still has incredible supporting roles with just defense shred. There's not a lot of characters that can defense shred, and she's definitely one of them. So yeah, I'm going to put her B. I'm going to stick Kujo-Sara. I want to stick Kujo-Sara C, but the fact that it's an attack buff makes her kind of a little bit more universal than Garo. But she's basically Electro Garo, and the fact that she only really wants to be in an Electro team. You can stick her in other teams just for a bigger attack buff, so you can do showcases and have a nice little screenshot damage number. But she really wants to be in an Electro team. That really limits her, which limited units I would normally stick down here, but you know, is what it is. Lisa, the Librarian. Her long charge attack, or her long charge up on her skill just makes me not like using her at all. She always feels super clunky, even at C6. The fact like everything has such a long charge up to it, before you can use it, is like unbearable to me, right? Then we have Mona. Dude, I'm sticking a lot of characters in B. Whew. Mona actually is still pretty damn good. Mona is a really, really good character, especially with some constellations, and since she's standard, you're probably going to get constellations on her. She's a really damn good character still. I think, should I put her here? Yeah, I think I'll put her in A, actually. I think I'll move her up one, because I really like her support capabilities, and the fact she boosts your damage to the high heavens with her Omen mark. And the fact that she can actually, I'm pretty sure she busts up your crit rate too. Dude, I have Mona and I literally have never used her because I don't like the dash. It's the same reason I don't really use Ayaka all that much, even though I have Ayaka fully built. I just don't like those dashes. But I know, and trust me, I've seen you guys, I'm sure you guys all remember Mona Sucrose Bennett in every single showcase that you've ever seen. Just so people can be like, oh my god, max damage, blah, blah, blah. Whenever you just want to see what the character can do, they're plugging it into some sort of team. But Mona Bennett Sucrose, she's still really, really strong in my opinion. Ningguang. This one will confuse a lot of people because I am a Ningguang shrimp. Ningguang carried me in the early game. She really did. She carried me until I got Xiao. She is a fantastic DPS. In fact, she was one of the best DPS in the game when the game first came out, but nobody knew it. I think Ningguang's a freaking monster. And next up is Noelle. Noelle is going to shock a lot of people. I think Noelle's a lot better than what people think. Some people are going to put her C tier, but I'm actually going to put Noelle B tier with the red horn and the new set. She's actually cracked. Actually, I'm really tempted to stick Noelle here, to be honest with you, because now her damage is really, really good. She heals the team. She has perma ult, essentially. She has a self shield. She does literally everything. I actually fully believe, yeah, I'm sticking her A. I'm sticking Noelle in A tier. I think Noelle is actually super, super, super good right now. The only caveat to Noelle is you really need C6. Without her C6, she really does not function. You need C6 Noelle for her to do anything. That's the one like downside to her, but the fact that you get it for free and she's been out forever, a lot of people probably have a C6 Noelle. So if you have Noelle, I would really, really check it out. Next up is going to be absolute bias, because this is what I believe personally. And like I said, I'm going to put the S in order. I personally believe Raiden Shogun is the best unit in the game. Now, keep that in mind. I have only had experience with C6 Raiden. I've never used C0, so I don't know what your guys' experience are. But I know with my C6 R5 Raiden Shogun, I fully believe she's the absolute best unit in the game at the point that I have her. If I'm comparing everyone's C6 and R5, whatever, I straight up believe that Raiden Shogun's the best unit in the game. She does so much for the team. She does insane damage, absolutely crazy damage. She also shortens the cooldown of your allies' ults, which most times it doesn't matter because everything's dead after one rotation, because you're normally pairing her with Eula. And Eula's an absolute freaking monster herself. So yeah, Eula's a monster. I'm sorry, there's gonna be a cut there because I had some background noise. Eula's a freaking monster that absolutely just dumpsters everything. And Raiden's really the reason that Eula can do that. Eula plus Raiden plus Zhongli plus eventually Shinji. Basically, that is a super cracked combination. Next we go into Razor. Razor is good. Razor's actually solid. I think, at least, I think Razor's actually decent, but I don't think he's like crazy. I'm gonna have to put him C tier. I think Razor is a decent DPS option, but I think like anybody up here is probably better. Like literally anyone, like as far as DPS options go. Razor's pretty selfish too. He's a very selfish DPS, a lot like Xiao, but he's fizz, so he takes some babying. Next is Rosaria. I'm also going to put Rosaria here because she is a crit rate support that mostly is going to probably buff your crit rate by up to a maximum of 15%. 15% is not that much in my opinion. Just get better artifacts. 5 I can't even say that with a straight face. But honestly, if you have really good artifacts, it completely nullifies the need for Rosaria at all. So in my opinion, that kind of like seals the deal on her. She's also a good like fizz support, because once you have her C6, once her ult's down, she does help out the fizz damage. But in my opinion, she's just not necessary. Kokomi, C or B? C or B? Where do I feel? Like the new set is definitely really good on her, and she is the best Hydra applicator in the game, which is why she's so popular with the Kokomon, whatever the hell the name team is. I definitely think she's one of the best like Hydra applicators in the game. So yeah, I'll have to put a B tier. I think the new set really helps her out. I still don't think she's all that good. Because her main job is to just splash enemies with a little bit of water, right? Just apply the status so you can do other things. So I think she's still kind of, and I think she's going to get replaced pretty easily in the future whenever we get a better Hydra applicator, or maybe like someone like Xingqiu with AoE. Where is Xingqiu? He's right here. Maybe someone like Xingqiu with AoE. But I feel like Kokomi's still like not the best event limited 5-star unit. I feel like, personally, I feel like Kokomi is, like, still not that good. So next up is Shinhee. Shinhee remains to be tested. There's a lot of question marks I have about Shinhee. So I actually think I want to just leave her here. Same with Yunjin. I kind of want to just not even put them here yet, because I want to see them in action first. If you held a gun to my head and you made me take a guess, I would say here, maybe slightly better than Kokomi since she's so niche. as well as she's super niche. And I think once she's in that niche, she's going to excel. It's very similar to Garo, which is, as you guys know, my griping point with Garo. I think once she's in that niche, she's going to excel. But I just like the numbers and stuff that I'm seeing, I need to see it in practice before I make a full judgment. Same with Yunjin. I would put Yunjin here in B tier as well. I just need to see how it works. If you guys don't know how it works, she's like a greedy Baido Zhongli hybrid. So I just need to see how she functions in practice and in application before I give a good judgment. But if you held a gun to my head, I would say probably around here, just based purely off what I see. Now, a lot of people are going to hate me for this one, but Xiao in D tier. This is probably the most fun character in the game to play. Xiao is so freaking fun to play, and she's adorable, but she's just flat out not that good. Now, people will disagree with me, you're more than welcome to, but that's just how I am with that. Sucrose, the EM buffing monster for your team. Actually, I want to put her A tier. I think Sucrose's ability to actually group the enemies, as well as Animo's ability to apply elements, or spread elements, is the easiest way to say it. I think that's just insanely good, and I think it's super underrated. As well as we all know her EM buffing status and how crazy that is. She's absolutely insane. I consider her like a smaller Kazuha. Next up is Child. Child is going to be B tier as well, and the reason Child isn't higher is because Child is super situational. He needs multiple enemies to be good. He's not very good single target, and if he is single target, then he is not nearly as good as literally any other option on this list as far as DPS goes. So for that reason being, I have to put Child in B tier. Like I said, A, B, C, and D are not in any particular order. These are just scattered out, and this is a full-on bias tier list. Toma. I'm going to put Toma in C, not D tier, because Toma is actually a lot better than what I thought. Since every auto attack refreshes his shield whenever his ult is active, I believe. That makes it so he's actually a decent shielder as long as ult is active, but you need to have him in a setup to where he's going to constantly ult. If he's not constantly ulting, he is kind of huffing the copium. So we're getting it. We are getting to the end here. We are down to all of these. What is she doing on this list? We don't even know what the hell she does. We're just gonna, bam, right here, baby, all the way at the very top. Just because it's Yoimiya. No. Next up is the Travelers. I think Electro Traveler is the best version of it, but if we're considering the Travelers as a whole, I'm gonna have to put them D tier because they are just kind of like the copium supports. You can use them. Like I said, Geo gives you crit rate just like Rosaria does. On the first constellation, Electro's a fantastic battery, but you have Raiden here, so that's just how I feel with Traveler, the Travatar, all the way down here. Next up is Venti. Venti is either S or A. He's never in between, and if he is S, he's going to be at the back of the S list. I'd put him up here because his ability to swirl and apply and completely cluster up a entire field on Abyss is just unrivaled. His ability, Venti is so polar opposite of everything, because Venti is basically like a unit that's going to either have the absolute... He's going to absolutely dominate whatever you're doing, or he's going to be absolutely useless. 1 and 2, right? So whenever he's doing his thing, he is so damn good, he makes it a joke. So yeah, I think Venti goes up here. Next is Xingling. Do I really need to even explain? I'm putting her right after Zhongli. Do I even need to explain that? Next up, and this one's going to hurt the most, is Xiao. Xiao is going to be B tier. I'm at least going to give him the courtesy of putting him at the front of the list, but like I said, it's not in any order, so it doesn't matter. The only one that I think's in order is S tier. So Xiao is actually, because if we consider C6 Xiao has probably some of the highest damage potential in the game, but at C0, and especially with the current Abyss, with the way the wolves and stuff work, and how hard it can be to actually proc C6 or anything like that, in current Abyss, I have to drop him all the way down to B because I just believe everyone here is a better option as far as DPS goes. I believe there's some... Well, actually, I don't think there's any DPS option in B tier that's better than him. Maybe Child in the right situation, but I think every DPS option here, like Hu Tao, Ito, Ayaka, Eula, Ganyu, even Noelle, I think Noelle is a better option than Xiao in the current Abyss setup. This Noelle is going to mess people up that I put Noelle this high, but I just genuinely think she's that good right now. Next up is Xingqiu. Xingqiu, I'm going to put in front. Yeah, in front of Venti. S tier. I don't know if I need to explain why he's S tier, but Xingqiu definitely deserves it. Xingqiu's a freaking monster on the off field. Xingqiu's super, super good. I really enjoy Xingqiu. Next up is Jinyan, C tier. I think, given the exact right setup, she's very, very good. But for a 4-star, she's hella expensive. You need a really good weapon. You need her constellations. And you need to have some good artifacts. And I just don't think it's worth it all that whenever you could just pick anyone else on this list and do half the effort and do twice the damage. So that's basically how I stand with that. Yanfei, once again, C tier. I think Yanfei, basically, she can do really, really good damage, and she's also really safe because she has that self shield, I believe, on C4. And she can do some really cool combos. She's super fun to play, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I played Yanfei, and whenever she first came out, I had a lot of fun. I think she's really fun to play. I just don't think her damage is at the par with the rest of the DPS options up here. So I had to put her C tier. Yoimiya, surprisingly, is a lot better than what I thought personally. Yoimiya actually is pretty damn good. She's gonna go B tier though. Because, especially in current abyss, because the wolves allow her to just like pump out damage constantly. She can pump out a ton of damage onto the wolves, and there's not that many. Because there's not a bunch of small mobs and she's purely single target, she can actually do some pretty good stuff in the current abyss. Because there's just not that many enemies there. There's a small number of enemies, but they're very, very tanky. So she can actually do pretty damn good in the current abyss, in my opinion. So this is my tier list. I know I said I'd never make a tier list, but this is a completely biased tier list. Do not hold it to heart. If your favorite unit is not the best, who cares? Because I'm just a YouTuber who has no idea what the hell I'm talking about. I just wanted to make a tier list for your entertainment so you can sit there and tell me how dumb I am in the comments. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.